Grace, you are live now.
Oh my God.
Uh,
So
so
who will bring
you
my
can you,
who will bring my friends then on now?
if they come out, bring them in, and I'll bring her in before. But you live, Grace. You live. You can't. Once they come out, bring them in.
Oh my
Let me see
God.
who. Let me see anybody. Yeah, you're the only one here now. I don't see anybody else. So Grace, it's all yours. I'm gonna mute the mic. Now you begin.
Okay. Okay. So let me see. I'm on live. Oh yes, I'm here. I can see me. So if you see me, I'm trying to share this live. So just bear patient. This is the closing argument. I'm here to discuss mental health issue. Today is mental health awareness day. So we just want to come here and discuss a little bit on awareness on mental health. So bear with me as I share. Oh my God.
Grace, are you good? You good, Grace?
Yes, I'm good. I'm just trying to share this thing, and then wait for the other people. I will be speaking. I'm sharing the video. So if you on here, can you please share the video for us? Today is Thursday, October 10th, and we are on to discuss mental health awareness. Today is Mental Health Awareness Day. It's International Mental Health Awareness Day. So we want to make sure we share some information with our community, because most time people feel that mental health, they don't like to discuss those issues, or maybe it sounds like an insult when people say, oh, you got mental health issue, but it's not an insult. Sometimes you suffer from little things that you don't even know is part of mental health. And today we will help you to give you awareness on how to cope with them, and also how to diagnose it, and maybe you can get help when you figure it's happening to you. So that's what we are here to share. We're not going to be long, we want to do an hour just talking about it, but you have to make sure you give me some time so I can share the video with other platforms and everything. So this is where we are. My name is Grace Goa, and I am the president of Liberian Women Advocacy Network International. I also am a panelist here on the closing argument. I am grateful for them giving me the platform today just to share and give awareness on mental health. My colleague will be joining me later on, and we can make sure we discuss a little bit. If you on and you seeing us and you know anything about this, if you want to come on, you let me know. I'm gonna let you come on, and then we can have this discussion with our people. It's very crucial and important to know that mental health nowadays is a thing that's going on, and most people are suffering from it, but really don't realize that they are. Um, and so it's important that we discuss it, so people can know the little signs and symptoms that when you're experiencing, you will know that maybe this is happening to me, and maybe you can get help. There are so many help out there that you can get. You can email, you can call. We give you some information on numbers. You can call to get help. Maybe 30 minutes of counseling of what you're going through. But most time, by doing my research, I figure out that mental health issues, especially the basic ones, the ones that are too severe because they have different stages, um, it's easier to deal with when you can share with somebody, because sometimes loneliness too it can cause mental health. You know how sometimes we're in this country and you're alone, you live by yourself and you don't have nobody to actually talk to. There is no ready help in the workplace because when you go there, because of diversity, you're not from the country, the people there speaking the thing you really don't understand. They're talking about the, things that happen, you don't have information on those things. You become isolated, you become like kind of lonely. And there's a way to cope with it, So all those things we're gonna be discussing today, for like an hour. So I hope you join us and you can share this to other platforms so people can get their awareness on mental health crisis. Um, a lot of people, especially after this pandemic, has been going through mental health issues, um, because they suffer sadness from the loss of their family members. Also, they suffer sadness from the things that they saw in the workplace, especially the nurses and doctors, working in the hospital, the kind of deaths that went on and how people suffer. So seeing those things, can put you in a certain state, and then you could be suffering from mental health because of seeing those things. It makes you sad. Sometimes you feel anger that maybe you couldn't help the way you wanted to help, and it gives you a little bit of depression. All those things are mental health issues. But then how to cope with it, that's what we're going to, give you awareness on today. And also mental health can be the cause of the loss of your family members. You got close to one of your family or friend, and that person, you know, suddenly died, or maybe they were sick and you lost them. That also can get you a little or bit of depression, and then it's a mental health issue. So most time we don't realize all these things, and we don't get help for them. And sometimes sometimes the help we talk about is not so much of you going to the hospital. No, sometimes when you get those symptoms, like you feel hopeless, you feel anxiety, um because maybe for anything, you're going through, maybe somebody made you mad at your work, or maybe you a sudden loss of a relationship, or maybe, as I said, some sudden loss of family member or friend, or maybe you changed your job because you were bothered on that job and you just didn't want to stay there anymore, and it made you sad you had to go to another job. All those things can cause mental health. It's not a crime. It's not a crime for you to go through that. This is normal day, the regular daily life. But how you cope with when you're going through those things, that's what that matters. And then after you started to go through these signs and things, you get extreme mood swings. You don't want to talk on the phone. People call you, you don't feel like being bothered, and you don't you start being withdrawn. You withdraw from your friends, and all those little signs. Then you know that something's wrong, and that's part of mental health issue. So then you start to get, maybe dramatic changes in your sleep mood, or you start to overeat. It happens, your eating pattern change, and you start to overeat, or you can't sleep at night, because you worry or you thinking about something. All those things are mental health issues. People talking to you, you suddenly get very angry, and maybe you tend to not say the truth, everything you're saying to other people. All those things can be mental health issues. So when I know in our society, when the people say, "Oh, you got mental health issue," then people get mad, and say, "Oh, they insulted me," but these are not insults. If people notice signs of their behavior, and although they don't have to come to you like that and say, "Oh, this is mental health issue," but the way they say it, it will help you to be able to get the help you need as around the time that you really need the help. When you don't get the help you need, when you start having basic symptoms like those, and you start to go deep, that's when people start to hallucinate, and start to get worse. So that's why we wanted to come today and actually bring this to your attention. So it can get worse if you're going through those things. So the day is mental health, International Mental Health Day, and they actually the topic, the theme today is mental health in the workplace, because a lot of people go through mental health in the workplace. So, but I just going through regular basic things concerning mental health, not focusing in the workplace, because those things when it start happening from home, it goes to the workplace. So you will once you start going through all the mood swings, and you withdrawing from your family members, you feel sad about everything, you get angry, and sometimes you have anxiety, and you feel hopeless in this world. Those things are signs of mental health. You have behavioral changes, then you go to your dramatic changes in your sleeping disorder, you start to overeat, because now the depression has taken over, the hopelessness are taking over, although you try to block it out, but then it happening. So you will start to, you see some people will overeat. Some people will increase their drinking of alcohol. Some people will start acting violent and recklessly. People you knew that, okay, the person here, they're not supposed to be acting like this. But because so those are the signs and symptoms, when they start having behavioral changes. It could happen to your child. You have to pay attention to those things. So it could happen to your child, and then you try to see if you can help the person on the surface level. Then when it start to get deeper now, then you have to go and get, maybe clinical help, or go through counseling, so you can be able to you can be able to calm your symptoms. But mental health is not a crime. A lot of people go through it. So after you start noticing your behavioral changes, then the book may say cognitive symptoms. That's when you start to have difficulty making decisions and difficulties concentrating. You're doing something, you can't really concentrate. You just, you're doing it, and you start doing something else. You're not finishing it when you're doing the other one. You can't concentrate very well, because of the changes, in your mood swing, and because of the sadness that you're facing, the anger and the anxiety. That's why when you lose a family member that's close to you, people in Africa will say, oh, the person is grieving. But you cannot grieve by yourself. So you need to call people that you know, and those people will help you by talking to you, by talking, and talking about what happened, or talking about the life of the person that you lost. It helps you to cope. So that's why it's always good to have somebody that you can really talk to, not so much of your personal thing, but what you're going through, especially when you start to have the symptoms of mental health. Some people, when it starts to get deeper, then you start getting headaches, just all of a clear blue sky, you don't suffer from headache. All of a clear blue sky, you just started getting headaches, and with all, any clear physical causes. And then you started getting your stomach start hurting, changes in your energy, and all those little things. So those things are signs of mental health. And I think I was just like thinking that sometimes we on here, and we are seeing, we're watching people behaviors, and on social media, the world over, it has nothing to do with a certain community. Except you are now on social media with a variety of people, except your community, you will not notice that so much drama and so much chaos is in the world, all over the place. Too many things happening. The internet has taken over our minds. People focus on the phone 24/7. You cannot even have a proper conversation with anybody because you're so focused on the phone. And it takes away. And some people, they even got a phone in their hand and they start looking for it. Oh, where my phone? They get over excited because of the phone. All those things are signs, is a little bit signs of mental health issue. So the world is changing and it will change even more than this. How you cope with these things that you're going through, that's what that's how better you become. We'll see more people walking the street talking about themselves because those are not people behind the earphones, so you don't even know whether they're talking to somebody. But you know how you cope with when you are in that sad mood and everything, it matters. So I just want to share this. That's why I came on quickly, to share that with you guys. And if you pay attention to yourself, then you will know those things are happening. Now they have exercises to, especially when you go for professional help for mental health, they have exercises that you can do to be able to bring yourself back to where you are, you know. God, I have to be very careful here because I'm not a professional. I never did anything concerning mental health, but just basic information. And, on a job, sometimes we get training for these things, help, just have meetings on it. So, when you learn this kind of thing, you come out, you want to share with other people so they can notice it. But if you notice it around you or your surrounding, or even yourself, and you're going through these kind of things, and you have to start taking precaution because when it get worse, that's when the clinical aspect come into play. Then before you know, some people are is institutionalized because they did not pay attention to the smaller symptoms and were not able to make sure that they get help with it. And sometimes too, when you're going through this withdrawal and and sadness, and maybe you're thinking about all the other things I just explained, what you could do you could journal. Journal means that you get a plain book, a journal, or you can get a notebook or copybook, as they say, and you start to write your thoughts in it. Today I woke up this morning, I did this, that, and the other. And at 12 o'clock, this thing happened, or whatsoever interaction you have somebody that piss you off, you can write it down. I had this interaction with a person, I was very upset because they said this, that, and that. What was my response to it? Then you start to respond to it. What could I have done better in that time? Then you write. I know we the African people say that thing for white people, and not for white people. We see most of our people suffering mental health issue right on the Blue app. We see them going through a lot. When they come on, you can see it's so bad. Some people now, their coping mechanism now is to just come on Facebook. Some of them will come, they will insult some people making flower 24/7, especially in our Liberian community. We see some people be making flower for 1 year, 2 years, they first came in. Then you start thinking, is it mental health issue? But how can you diagnose them when you are now a clinical person? But when you look at the basic information on mental health issue, those are mental health issues. They are. So these are some of the things, but you have to be able to journal, it can help bring clarity and reduce your emotional overwhelm. So sometimes if somebody do something, you don't have to always just come and insult by or fight by, like, how we learn from whom your Mayflower, but you can also journal what happened to you. And, and through writing it, it can give you clarity. And in that aspect, you can reduce your emotional, you reduce your emotional dissatisfaction and the overwhelm that you have because of that situation. And so those are the kind of things I want to. You can also create a kit, and you can include soothing music. So if you're going through sadness, you play up the most of the music that's soothing to you. So this weekend I went to North Carolina, and one of the music that really was soothing to me when I was lying in my hotel room was Tony Braxton. I'm a woman, a woman with a heart, a woman who needs to be loved, that kind of song. Or you can just play anything that will, suit your heart and maybe give you the satisfaction at the time. So all those things help you to, deal with the emotional, maybe dissatisfaction that you're going through, that leads to mental health issues. So you can also reach out for support. You can make sure you have a network. Maybe your friends, you got one or two friends, because you know how many friends people can have, in fact. People don't really have, when some people just have one or two good friends. All the other people are associates. But those friends that you think you can talk to and you're feeling down, you don't have to tell them what you feel, why you feel down. Just say, I feel down today. Maybe give them a brush of it. Maybe they will talk to you. Don't go call them once in a while when you can't tell them and then they're over talking, you say you're tired. But you want somebody who can really listen, so you can be able to talk to them and find your stuff out, and maybe it will make you better. If you're a Christian, best thing to do also is to pray. You know, get in communication with your maker and just tell him exactly how you feel. You read your Bible and you go about it that way. Sometimes just talking to somebody is a good feeling. You're going through something, you call somebody, you talk to them, and it can help you calm down, because maybe if after the person listening, they can help you prevent crisis of escalating how you feel. Because if you feel a certain way, you tell them, maybe you'll be able to say, you know what, you don't have to feel this way. It depends on the person that you will call, because we got different people in our lives. You call for different things. So you can call Mary for certain things, say, you know what, I'll call Mary today and I will tell her so she will understand that part. And when I talk to her, I will feel better. And then you go and talk to her, you reach out to your friend, your family members. They got hotlines that you can call. They have the um that hotline is for suicide. When you reach a certain level now, then you say, okay, I have to call the people. So, but they got different hotlines that you can call. They got the suicide hotline you can call. They got substance abuse, especially when you're depression going in, you're drinking. Some people don't know. They say, oh, the person can just flip. No, when you start drinking too much alcohol and you're getting drunk, that is a sign of depression or mental health crisis, because nobody's supposed to just drink and get drunk and get useless. So then you start, it's a sign of mental health. And we don't know, when we were growing up, we see the person dropping in the street, say, oh, the man drunk. But there has to be a point for somebody to reach to that stage to drink and get drunk and be falling and pissing themselves. So that's another form of mental health issue. So, well, I just came to share today with you guys, and I hope you learned something in this, and I hope you can help somebody. And I really all I have to say. One or two people were supposed to join me, but I guess they will not be able to come. I just wanted to share that, because when these are awareness days and things come, I wish we could have a platform where we can go to and actually just talk about those things, instead of all the other too much of politics in our surrounding, the hate, the malice, the confusion. Maybe when we start to discuss other things, that concerning our lives, because if you look at the whole thing, you got one life to live. Are you going to exhaust yourself in the kind of drama that goes on in our community? Sometimes you can be a part of that because you're fighting for a change. You want to make a difference with a group of people to effect a change. But then other times, real life issues that goes on in your life, living in the outside world, living in Liberia, where you just want to have, a regular life. You just want to have, something better for yourself, that you can interact with people. So I hope, we could really find a time, because the internet age is growing, is really getting bigger. There will come a time all this foolishness will be dropped. And then the real things that matter will go on. It takes stages in life when new technology and everything happening. So we know right now we're in the drama time. I always say that the drama time frame. So that time will pass, and then there will come a time where people will be getting actual real help. Although right now, if you want to get real help on this internet, you can get it. But most time the drama had taken over the word. So right now you can't get that kind of except you really look for it before you can get it. So I hope that, my little knowledge about mental health, finding help, mental health, basic issues. If you are experiencing those things, you don't want it to get deeper. You know, you don't want it to come get an issue, be an issue before you pay attention to it. When it starts to happen, then you start to say, no, you know what? I need to really pay attention to it and get the help I need. When you going through those things, they have the National Alliance on Mental Health Illness. The number is 1 second. So okay, sorry about that. So one of the places you can find help for mental health issues, just the normal basic things, and you need to talk to somebody, or you just need to interact. And most of the time, the interaction, the people will not know who you are. They won't really know. You have the choice to not call your name, and maybe you can just talk to people asking about your symptoms and how you feeling. I just feel sad. I lost my brother 1 year ago, and the sadness is still in me, and maybe I need to talk to somebody. And, the professionals, they got way they will talk to you, and maybe through that one-on-one interaction with them, you could get healed. So the National Alliance on Mental Health, they call it NAMI, NAMI, 1-800-950-6264. 1-800-950-6264. In the greatest country in the world, America. I want to like about the country, you can get all the help you need. If you want counseling on marriage, you can get that help. If you want counseling on how to cheat, you can also get that help. They got all the helps you can get. So for the National Alliance on Mental Illness, the number is 1-800-950-6264. If you're going through any form of sadness and it's getting deep and you're getting depressed and you don't know where to turn, you don't trust anybody to talk to, call this number and talk to them. You have your right to tell them that you don't want them to, you just want to talk to somebody. They will give you all your rights in the way you would do. Whether you want it to be recorded, you don't want to be recorded, they will ask you all the questions, and then you go ahead, you start to explain to them how you feel and everything. Also, they have mental health for the LGBTQ community, because most of the time that community, the people say they are bullied a lot. So they have another number for them to call if you're being bullied, because when you are being bullied, it also gives you a form of mental health crisis. So that number is 1-866-488-7386. That's the number to call if you are in the LGBTQ community and you are going through mental health crisis because you don't know how to come out. You don't look at all those things they call mental health crisis. You don't know, you're embarrassed because you don't want your family to look at you funny. You don't want to be ostracized from your community, from your family, from your friends. You can always call this number that will help you on how to be able to present yourself to the world if you are ready to make known who you are. You got one life to live. The way you feel is how you feel. I don't think any form of anything should stop you from living your true yourself. So that's why I came to help today. So that's the number for the LGBTQ community. The number is 1-866-488-7386. So if I help one person today while on the line, it means that I help somebody. And that's all I wanted to do. Yeah, because I personally have experienced somebody coming to me, don't really know me like that, but I think they saw something in me and they decided to talk to me about what they were going through. And after I talked to them, I went to go read everything. I figured out they were going through mental health crisis. So I had to do deep research, and I was able to go back to them, and we've been talking since. That person, like, they have become like a family to me. So they talk to me about their problem. Sometimes I get tired. Sometimes I don't want to talk because myself, I'm going through my own thing. Sometimes, I just feel like not hearing people's stories because everybody got their own stuff, But still, once I'm supposed to be a help to somebody like that, I always give myself the time, and give the time to that person, because it means that I have done something here on earth. So that's why I'm here today, for the few of you are watching, to be able to help you. So finding mental health professionals, is very important. You can put that in your Google, and if you're really going through deep mental health issue, whereas you want to commit suicide, then you can type in professional therapist and get that information, about how you can get help. So and now the other mental health issue I will talk about before I leave is that mental health, working from home. So you know how the pandemic came, and most people work from home. Some people do hybrid, and working from home, people not around you. You're just working by yourself. Maybe your other family members that live in the house, they're all going to work, and you're just home. I got that kind of job. So then, it starts to, you feel distant. You feel distant from people. You feel kind of lonely. Sometimes, I will encourage you that, you can call your workmate. You can talk on the phone while you're working, try to figure out things. Or you call one of your friends, maybe that on tear shift. And if you're not having the morning rest, you can call and lecture with them while you're working. So all those things help you to cope. Um, for me, I work from home, but I work intense from home, so I don't really feel lonely. I'm always like I'm working. You see, so but people who their jobs are kind of slow back, laid back, they suffer from mental health issues too, working from home. Although it's nice working from home, but when you used to going to work and see a lot of people around you, even you're not interacting with them, but people are there, and then all of a sudden you just home by yourself and you're working, it can give you a form of if you're not strong minded, you can get a form of mental health issue by doing that. Um, it also equivalent to loneliness. So that's how it works. So and then even also come from other countries. You come to this country, you're working with the people, and because of diversity, sometimes they don't know you, don't know them, you don't know how to cope. You find yourself kind of lonely on the job. It's another form of, because they're talking, and sometimes you can't talk with them. Everybody don't know how to make friends the same. Some people don't know how to make friends, so they kind of bother them. They start to suffer from the same loneliness, which is when it gets severe, it becomes mental health issues. So thank you so much, guys. I don't know if Peabody is still here, because it means that I am done. I have to go out now. They are having a homecoming at my son's school. So I have to take him out for the homecoming so he can enjoy the parade and the different things they have there. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And it was nice interacting with you on this International Day of Mental Health. I hope you keep your mental health in check. It's important that you do that. It is very important that you do that. Mental health doesn't mean you are crazy. I want to remind you on that. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with your brains. It doesn't mean that you're useless. It means that we find ourselves in the world where life has changed, and sometimes you go through all these little things. And since we of advanced world now, the world over, because even in Liberia now things are changed. You can always get help to be able to cope with your mental health issue. So one or two people also come with me, but they're having difficulties really logging on the link. But I think that I have done my best. I was able to share my little knowledge of what I know when it comes to mental health illness and issues. I want you to know that you are not alone. We are always here. If you need numbers, I gave you the numbers already. And if you forget it, just inbox me and I will give you the numbers so you can be able to call. But don't be alone in this. There's no need for you to be alone. You can always reach out to that number or you can reach out to a friend. A lot of us are grieving our family members. The mental health issue mostly has to do with grief of loss of family members. And you see people acting up. Some people you see them coming on their Facebook, they're cussing. It's not them. These people, most of them going through mental health issues, rejection, bereaved, they bereaved, they lost maybe a relationship. And that the only coping mechanism they can have is to just come out and lash out. Some people will withdraw, they will stay to themselves, and then it was still lonely. Some people will lie down in bed all day. You won't even get up. Different ways, but you're not alone in this world that going through it, and you can always get out there and get help. It doesn't make you crazy, it doesn't make you senseless, doesn't make you like Bremen says saka. It just means that you need a little bit of help, and the quicker you can get to helping yourself, the better it is for you. The quicker you can get helping yourself, the better it is for you. We have seen people, brilliance, people of brilliance. I know somebody who went to school when they got all the degrees, had a good job, and all of a sudden they just started talking out of their head, and now they are mentally institutionalized. So those things happen. I heard a story of somebody else who did two jobs and went to school, graduate, was supposed to go to graduate the day of the graduation, magna cum laude. After the graduation, he went home and lied and just died because maybe too much the walks of life, too many things, nobody to talk to, nobody to and the symptom of his death was just that he was tired, his brain was overreacting, because maybe he was studying and he was working, but he couldn't even have somebody to interact with. So interaction is very, very important for your mental health. If you are not interacting, don't be with you. Find somebody to interact with all the time. Call your friends, call your family members, people you haven't talked to. Look in your phone, look for them. Say, what, I'm calling the person today so we can talk. You know, some people are blessed; they got their friends that they can always reach out to. Some people don't really have friends. Look for somebody you can reach out to. You can't reach out to anybody. Call that 1-800 number. Somebody will be waiting to talk to you, and you will be just fine. So I hope you guys have a nice day, evening. And also always notice the people around you, because sometimes they're going through mental health. They don't even know they're going through it. But you got people who always mad and always like, kind of sad, anxiety, all those things. If you see the signs, you can always try to help them by talking to them and say, what's going on with you? And then maybe they will get through and be able to open up, and it helps them to heal. So happy International Mental Health Day. I hope everybody be in their sound minds so we can all live to see Liberia become a best nation one day. One day, one day. Have a beautiful evening. Thank you. Henry, if you're watching, you need to take me off this live. Henry, everybody. Mm. Okay, guys. See ya. And I will just tomorrow is tomorrow is the International Day of the Geisha. I think I had to call it. Let me just see. Tomorrow is the International Day of the Girl Child. So hopefully when we come on a real show, we'll be talking a little bit about the girl child. And yeah, happy it will be the International Day of the Girl Child. So we'll come here and talk about the girl child and how to be able to accept women in society and accept them being on the being on the table, if not making them the table. Okay, everybody, thanks for watching. Have a good evening.